7 effective lead generation strategies for 2025. Before I share these, thank you so much to everybody for supporting my YouTube channel this year. YouTube is very new to me. LinkedIn, I'm established. It's where I run my business. YouTube is very new. So thank you so much for subscribing. And please do that because every week I've been uploading videos throughout the year. And this way, by subscribing, you'll get a chance to learn more about sales, more about mindset, and more about maximizing LinkedIn to increase sales and do better for yourself and the company you work for. So, 7 effective lead generation strategies. Some are obvious and some you may never have thought about. The obvious one is a lead magnet. So having a lead magnet or a PDF giveaway on your website is vital because when you do that, you collect someone's email address. You own that data, and that is so important. No one can take that away from you. And a lead magnet on your website, don't give away a free book. People don't read free ebooks that are like 70, 80, 90, or 100 pages. If they pay for it, it's different, but a free one people won't read. They will read something between 2 to 3 pages to maybe 15 pages, really high value. But again, make it high value. I've seen people giving away 20-page PDFs, and half of it is about them, and it really has to be about the other person. If you've got a PDF giveaway or a lead magnet giveaway, sure, have 1 or 2 pages of testimonials. Have some social proof, that's very important. But make it as much about the other person as possible. So lead magnets, absolutely key. The second thing I've got here is speaking at networking events. You can call that speaking at conferences as well. And of course, there's a couple of different kinds. There's the free ones. I rarely get business from free events. Now and again I will, but not really. Then you have the low-cost events, networking events that are 15, 20 pounds. You can win business now and again from them. They're good for building relationships, and of course, long-term relationships is business, but that's a very long-term, uncertain strategy. But certainly, networking events have their place. They're certainly good for feeling part of a tribe. They're certainly good on days you're feeling a bit lonely and a bit alone as a business owner. But for a lead generation strategy, the higher ticket events are always better. I go to conferences where people are paying at least £100 or $125, and I'm speaking, I will tend to win a client. Whereas free events I speak at, I rarely get anything at all. So speaking at events is a great way to generate leads. And you shouldn't really be doing just one. So many people will focus on one thing. And of course, you should focus on one thing to get it right, but don't rely on one thing. That's really important. My 3rd lead generation strategy, which for almost 3 years was my best lead generation strategy, hasn't done as well this year, and that's LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has been very good to me. It's been an amazing platform on so many levels for learning, for networking, for relationships. And lead generation occurs because of the posts I write, especially the video posts that I shoot. I made a decision that every single week I was going to shoot a video post for authority, for gravitas, for trust, and for lead generation. That's why I do it. And video is a fantastic way to generate leads. I'm still surprised how few people do video. People know it's a fantastic way to generate leads, but most people don't do it because it's difficult. It takes effort, it takes energy. It's hard work. So please keep this in mind. Don't avoid the hard work, run to it. It's a fantastic way to generate leads, LinkedIn. The 4th one, I call it books, but you can call it other assets. These can be white paper downloads. These can be other things people can buy from you. My first book, Everybody Works in Sales, was the bestseller. And my second book didn't do very well at all. But my second book gave me more credibility because people thought, he hasn't just written a one-off book, he's done 2 books. And my 3rd book did much better than my second book. Didn't take off the way I wanted it to, but I won 2 amazing new clients off it. And writing 3 books does help you more long term. Again, you're only getting between 4 to 5 leads a year from a book. You're not getting many, but I prefer to focus more on the quality of the leads than the number. If you're scaling your business super fast, books are not really going to do it unless, of course, your book becomes over 100,000 copies a year bestseller, which rarely happens. So next one. Well, personal newsletter is kind of related to lead magnets. I'm not going to really say that because that's part of the lead magnet. But the next one is a LinkedIn newsletter. Now, it's interesting. My LinkedIn newsletter has almost 11,000 subscribers, which is a big number of subscribers for a newsletter. My personal newsletter has only 500. So 11,000 compared to 500. You'd think the LinkedIn newsletter would work better. And yes, now and again, I'll generate leads from there. My personal newsletter from my lead magnet does way better. No idea why, no idea. But LinkedIn newsletters are great because you can talk about thought leadership and you can write for about 7 to 8 minutes, which people will actually spend that time reading a newsletter if they're going to subscribe to it. So LinkedIn newsletters are superb. Personal referrals is my favorite. Anytime I've done great work with a client and they refer me to somebody else, it's gold. Now, how do referrals happen? Well, the best way to ask for a referral is when a client says they're very happy with your services. And I don't just say, look, who can you introduce me to that can do business with me? I always say, who in your network do you think could benefit from my services? Who in your network do you think could benefit from my services? And of course, there's people I've worked with years ago who've now been promoted maybe from a sales manager to a sales director. There are people now who have left companies and set up their own businesses. There are those who set up their own side hustles, and these are the people now who are hiring me. So if you do great work with people, don't think they're going to forget about who you are. You do great work and you're memorable and you're a person of value. It is incredible how much work you can generate long term. So personal referrals are my favorite because of all lead generation sort of tools and things out there. It's the best way to do business. And the last one, which people don't really think about much, is charity work. So I sit as an ambassador on 2 charity boards, and the people I meet there tend to be CEOs, they tend to be managing directors, they tend to be commercial directors, they tend to be people in top positions in companies. When I attend charity events, I'll often buy a table and bring my clients along, and I'll give away 2 hours of free LinkedIn training. And sometimes they bid for it. People will pay £500, £600, which goes directly to the charity, or sometimes there's a fixed cost. It's 500 quid, 2 hours of my time, give the money to the charity. It varies from charity to charity. But again, the people who go to charity events and buy your product or your services, these are people who are potential customers because they have the income to work with you. So just to recap, lead magnets, which go into your personal newsletter, you own that data. Speaking at events, there's free events and there's high ticket events. High ticket is always, always better. 3, LinkedIn posts. LinkedIn video especially is a better way of doing business for authority, trust, and leads. 4 is books or what other assets you have. 5 is a LinkedIn newsletter, long form, great for thought leadership. 6, personal referrals, which is my favorite. And the 7th, which not many people think about, is sitting on charity boards or giving away your product or service at a charity event, either at a fixed price or as part of an auction. Now, individually, none of these work well enough, but together they work beautifully. And for any month, I normally have 2 or 3 of these things going at once. You can use one, but if one doesn't work and it's your only source of leads, it's going to leave you very vulnerable. And that's one of the worst things in business, is to be vulnerable and to not have leads come in. Because when leads don't come in, I've seen people make really bad decisions, like paying software companies money to scrape email addresses from LinkedIn, paying companies a lot of money to scrape email addresses from website. I've seen people who are desperate buying data from other people, and data is nearly always 2 or 3 years old. So, there's a lot of tools out there that are just not very good. And the people selling them are not very good. They're doing it to make money. They're not doing it to help you, which is why I haven't seen any good services out there at all. And there are better ways of doing it yourself. I hope those strategies help. If this video has been useful, please add something to the comments below. Or if you have a lead generation strategy I haven't mentioned, please put that in the comments below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Everybody Works in Sales, because I'm always putting up new content that's going to help you do better in sales, better with your mindset, and maximizing LinkedIn.